Hi, I'm Laura Munoz, and today I'm going to be teaching everybody how to use Twitter for professional development. There is a lot of potential for Twitter to be useful for professional development, and especially in my primary focus here, the education field. In this video, I'm going to teach everyone how to make a Twitter account for professional development. I'm also going to explain some of the benefits of using Twitter for professional development. And I'm also going to explain some of the challenges that this technology can have on this particular area. First things first, if you're going to try to have a Twitter for professional development, you gotta know how to create a Twitter account in the first place. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to download Twitter on either your iPhone or Android through the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. If you click sign up, it will send you an SMS message, and then you just insert the code that they give you into the thing here. You click next, and then you create a password. After you've made your password, it's going to prompt you to upload a profile picture. Make sure you choose something professional, not something that's just like you drinking a beer or you partying at the club. Pick something that looks professional. This is the picture I chose. This is the most professional picture I have in my gallery, and this is what it looks like on your page. You're also going to create an @ which my @ is Laura Munoz 50264. It's just a random one. And then you're going to go to Professional Tools down here. You're going to click Twitter for Professionals. And here it shows you what you can do to make your Twitter look more professional. You can customize your profile, explore profile spotlights, pick topics to follow. We're going to pick some topics to follow here really quick. As you can see, that there are many different topics that you can choose from to follow. And if you're doing this for professional development, say you're an educator, you're going to want to do education. Now that you have education picked, you could also do homeschooling, college life, online education, graduate school, anything here that interests you or that you think would help you in your professional development. Okay? Now that that's done, you can also choose people to follow that might have information about professional development. As you can see, whenever you pick a profession, it puts education right here on your @ so people can see that you are an educator. You can also follow people. As you can see, I'm following the U.S. Department of Education. And what is good about this is that you can go to here, and if you see something that you think is going to be important for later, like the Holocaust Remembrance Program, you can just click retweet, and it will put it right here on your page so that you don't lose it. For instance, an account that I've been following while researching professional development and education is Clo Media, or Chief Learning Officer, and they provide a lot of information about professional development. It is for professional development. Like, it has how AI is revolutionizing talent development. Retweet that for later. It has a lot of information that is useful for teachers, educators everywhere, that teachers can implement in their classrooms or just to have in general. Now that we know how to make a Twitter account for professional development, let's look at some of the benefits that using Twitter for professional development has. A big benefit of using Twitter for professional development is not just the ease at which a person can find information towards education, but also the ease of which a person can share this information with other teachers. Let me show you just how easy it is to share some tweets on Twitter. Let's go to this article by Education Week about research about ways schools can help students take more college-ready courses. All you have to do is go down to this little icon here, tap that, and you can copy the link, just email to other educators, or you could send it through messages. You could send it through Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook Messenger, LinkedIn, Gmail. It will automatically give you a link to send it to another educator, which is a very helpful feature. In a study conducted by Grassroots Professional Development, some teachers were interviewed regarding their Twitter usage, and one of them said, "The links are just priceless, stuff I wouldn't find otherwise. And then I turn around and send it to my teachers. Oh, I found this on Twitter. Try this math site, this smartboard tool." So my teachers themselves aren't on Twitter too much in school, but I'm sharing. I let them know I'm getting it from Twitter though. The same study found that many teachers described tweeting colleagues as outstanding peers and often drew distinctions between teachers who get educational technologies and are on Twitter and other teachers who don't. If this sounds familiar, that's because it is. It sounds a lot like a community, as mentioned in our textbook, Personal Connections in the Digital Age. On page 98, Boehm says, "Groups sometimes develop a sense of themselves as a group, a social identity or schema of who they are that is shared amongst them and which contributes to the feeling of community." So that would mean another one of the benefits of using Twitter for professional development is building this sense of community that is more global than it is local. One of the aspects of new technology is that information is far more readily available to us. A person can find a piece of information they are looking for in a matter of seconds now. This is where Twitter is the most useful. No other social media application releases information as fast as Twitter does. As you can see, one of the elements of Twitter is that it's easy to use. It's easy to create an account and it's free. Plus, there are a vast amount of information about professional development for educators in Twitter. The website Faculty Focus echoes this sentiment about creating a global community. It says, using Twitter as a PLN or professional learning network allows you to take ownership of your professional learning by exploring topics of interest with educators around the globe, anytime and anywhere. These are just a few advantages that mediated spaces like Twitter have over face-to-face interaction. In Chapter 1, Boehm mentions 7 concepts that compare mediated interaction and face-to-face interaction. These include temporal structure, social cues, storage, replicability, reach, and mobility. What that article is referring to is its mobility. Twitter is something that you can carry with you in your pocket and take with you anywhere. And it has all the information that you could ever need for professional development on it. We already discussed replicability with our ability to share information with others through Twitter. We are able to store this information on our Twitter accounts through retweeting and quote tweeting. And Twitter is able to reach far more educators with its application than face-to-face interaction can. Now here comes some of the challenges presented by using Twitter for professional development. And one of those is one of Boehm's 7 concepts, and that is social cues. One of the complaints about mediated interaction is that it filters out social cues. Whereas face-to-face interaction, you get the hand gestures, you get the facial expressions, you know what a person is thinking without them having to say it. This is not something that's easily done in mediated spaces. And because of this, there is a fear that mediated interaction is more impersonal than face-to-face interaction. Therefore, using Twitter for professional development would present a hindrance as far as developing interpersonal relationships goes. Boehm says in Chapter 3, page 60 of our textbook that given the importance of these nonverbal cues in coordinating interaction and conveying meaning, especially emotional meaning, it makes sense that people question how well mediated communication can successfully serve social functions. However, BAME goes on to say on page 64 that even if we accept that face-to-face communication provides a kind of social connection that simply cannot be attained with mediation, it does not follow that mediated communication, even in lean media, is emotionally or socially impoverished, or that social context cannot be achieved. This means that even though there are less social cues in mediated interaction than in face-to-face interaction, that does not mean that mediated interaction is completely impersonal. Otherwise, we wouldn't have online communities like discussed in Chapter 4 of BAME's Personal Connections in the Digital Age. In fact, on page 86, BAME compares these online spaces to the cafes, coffee shops, community centers, beauty parlors, general stores, bars, and hangouts that get you through the day in any local town. Certainly, using Twitter for professional development won't replace the in-person conventions that educators go to every now and then. However, it is a good place for educators to get information that they might not get from these conventions, and it has a bigger outreach. Twitter has the capability of bringing more educators together than a convention could. So even though there is more of a lack of social cues, this doesn't mean that Twitter would not be beneficial for professional development for educators.